So it's like Christmas in February, actually February 27th. We've been waiting for these fish for feels like 6 months since we were last in October. I'm so excited about these fish coming in. The guys just pulled up from Fitz's Ponds with our fish. AJ's here with a helper. They just drove over 12 hours. I want to say they were on the road for 13 plus hours. Oh my gosh, and if I turn around, they're already ready to pull these things in. We're gonna build a pondless waterfall.
The best way to learn anything is to teach it.
We are rocking and rolling on this pond. That box right there can only mean one thing, because the size of it, that has to be Greg's fish. Oh my, has to be.
This is one of the biggest.
13 hours?
13 hours, yeah.
13.
Then you have to fly.
Go ahead. Ooh, look at the size of it.
So these are all the big stuff that you guys picked out when we were in Japan just 4 months ago. Some amazing fish from so many of the best breeders in the world. I'm excited for them to finally be here.
Yeah, right?
They've done great. They've gone through a full 4 to 6 week quarantine period at our farm. They've done super well, no problems. We're excited to get them out of our place into your place, that's for sure. So yeah, they've done great.
Well, I'm just all smiles. I mean, it's only been 20 minutes since I've been here and I'm grinning ear to ear. Like, I'm so into this stuff. Actually, there's a word. It's called koikichi, is that right? George from Coral G said it means koi crazy.
I think so, I don't know.
This Doitsu Showa and this Jinrin Showa are the ones I picked out. These are the ones that I almost got divorced over. My wife was a little upset with the amount of money I spent on fish. The only reason she got into it a little bit more is because Matthew was actually very involved with picking these two out too. I FaceTimed Matthew when I was in Japan. I said, what do you think of these? And he said, yeah, so this is actually Matthew's fish over here and this one's mine. So we're gonna get these guys over here. We're gonna get some photographs of them, get them in this, and then we'll let them loose and let them be happy, get them out of these boxes and bags really quick.
So these are really awesome fish. Shiro Utsuri.
Shiro Utsuri.
Yeah, and then you got a Deutz Ochiba.
It's nice.
And then a Kikasui.
You know what's gonna be so hard, Jack? We're supposed to sell some of these, and I know Greg's gonna be like, yeah, no, those are all staying here. Which is only good for AJ and the rest of the Fitz Pond crew over there. That means we're gonna go buy some more fish probably from them. Oh, look at how awesome that fish is. All of them. So cool. I think if my wife were here, she would be like, yes, we should go buy more fish because it's so awesome. I totally remember these guys. I love the joints. These are Greg's Yamabukis.
Yeah.
Ed, get in this. This is like the coolest day ever.
Christmas all over again, reliving it.
I think every 2 years I go back to Japan, I'm gonna get divorced. Then I'll spend 2 years like fixing it, and then I'll get divorced. Then I'll spend 2 years fixing it.
That seems like a good strategy.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Silver bullet.
It just shows so nice. For me, it's the Doitsus, then the Ginrin. When the Ginrin moves through the pond and the sun hits them, it's just amazing. And there's not even sun in here, and you like those things are just popping. Platinum Mogan, Jinrin Showa, Jinrin Tancho Showa, and Tancho Kajaku. Bam! Boom! Bam! right, guys, crazy day. Just finished up our academy. I'm exhausted, but exhilarated and energized at the same time. I guess that doesn't really make sense, but I will tell you this. Sunday morning, I'm going on a trip that I've been looking forward for a long time. I'm heading out to Tom Smith's wet lab. What that means is it's a science class on Japanese koi health, koi filtration, do's and don'ts with koi, everything I need to know about koi. We just brought in over $100,000 worth of Japanese koi, and I kind of thought to myself how irresponsible it is of myself, irresponsible of our retail team, irresponsible of our maintenance team that we don't know more about these fish. If we're gonna bring in those quality fish, the fish that we picked out from Japan, we better know a little bit more about it. I'm also extremely excited about seeing Tom Smith's operation. I want to go out and see Brian Fitzsimmons' operation, and I think I'm gonna do another little secret visit, which you guys got to tune in for. The other thing I thought would be really important is how selfish of me, how irresponsible again it would be of me to go by myself. Let's go ask Kareen, our retail store manager, if she's got anybody that's super passionate about fish the same way I am, and if we should extend the invitation to anybody in her store. Here we go. Kareen! Have you heard about my trip out to New York?
I have.
I am leaving pretty soon. Do you think there's anybody equally as passionate about koi as I am here?
Oh my gosh, Christine. She is obsessed. She even paints them. She loves them so passionately. She would be ideal to go.
I was hoping she said that because I see Christine talking to the fish. She's back there petting them. She's got names for all of them. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is actually naming your fish, because when you name them, it's really hard to let them go and sell them. I think I'm gonna bring Steven from our maintenance division.
Very good.
Steven does a lot of our maintenance packages. He single-handedly sees more ponds in a day than any other employee here at Aquascape. He does all of our maintenance packages. He sees the opportunity to sell more of these fish, so I thought it'd be awesome to bring Steven, Christine, myself.
That's awesome.
Hey, thanks so much for letting her go.
Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome.
All right, guys, Steven, tell them your role at Aquascape and what you do at Aquascape right now.
Right now, I'm the lead maintenance tech. I do 8 to 9 ponds for maintenance every day. About to start clean out season pretty soon, so I'm excited for that. So I've been doing a lot of the maintenance, and now I'm getting into fish care and fish health. Very excited to learn a lot today.
If you could take one thing out of this trip, what are you hoping to take out of this trip?
Just being able to make sure if any fish health problems come up, I just want to be able to make sure that our fish are going to stay healthy and stay good.
Christine?
I work in the retail store. I love taking care of our customers. I love teaching them about our products, but what I love most is the koi. They're beautiful, so I love taking care of the pond, making sure the water is crystal clear and the koi are healthy and ready for sale.
Christine, what's the one thing you want to get out of this trip?
Making sure our koi are healthy and beautiful at all times.
Awesome. You guys, this is going to be a fun trip. Can't wait to show you everything we're doing. We've got koi classes. I know they're doing like injections, and they're going to be doing koi scrapings and all that kind of stuff, learning more about the health. I'll be doing some other classes. I have to teach a couple classes, and then we're going to head off to Brian Fitzsimmons' place and check out his operation and see what we can't learn out there.
What's up, everybody? It is Chris from Team Aquascape, as well as Josh Duffy, and today we are going on a couple service visits. We had a couple calls come in over the last few days about possible leaks at skimmer boxes, ponds not holding water, pump replacements, that kind of stuff. So we're actually out at one of our visits right now. We're gonna take a look at the pump, see if we need to replace it. We're gonna do that, and then we'll be on to the next one. All right, so after looking at the pump, we're gonna go ahead and swap it out. Even though it's a relatively new SLD 5 to 9, we'll go ahead and swap it with a brand new one. What we found was the customer had one of the pond thermometers. For whatever reason, he decided to dangle this all the way down into the reservoir. This thing actually got caught in the impeller at some point. You can see the cage on the thermometer is broken, as well as a piece of gravel down there as well. Now, when we fired the pump back up using a new receiver, the pump did work. However, he had said that the pump had been going on and off even after all this had happened. So we're gonna go ahead and just swap out the existing pump just to be on the safe side. And we'll go ahead and kick that pump back over to QC and figure out what was going on with it. But it looks at some point it got obstructed and probably messed with some of the internal components in the pump. This is the pump feeding the main water flow. The reason for the rigid PVC is just to keep everything nice and lined up in there. Notice how everything fits in there nice and snug. Josh will go ahead and connect the check valve, then we will get this thing up and going. Water's now flowing. All right, so we got the pump replaced at this project. Now we're gonna head over to a pond called and said that their pond stopped holding water about a week and a half ago. So it's a newer project, so we're gonna head over there, try and figure out what the heck happened, and we'll be sure to fill you guys in as we go.
here in New Jersey, Mineral Springs Resort. And this place, you guys, is awesome. If you're ever in the area, check it out. We're here for a couple days of training, learning from the best in the industry. Doc Johnson teaching us all about fish health, koi health. Hopefully after the next couple days, we learn a ton of stuff. Can't wait to share with you guys what we're doing. So after a couple days over there at Tom Smith's amazing event, I decided to extend my trip out here, check out Brian Fitzsimmons' place and see where all these koi came in. And now if you guys remember, back in October, we actually went out to Japan with Brian. He does these really, really cool trips. The fish are then hand selected over there and then sent to this place, the farm. Over here at the farm, they're able to quarantine all the fish, keep them healthy. They keep them for 4 to 6 weeks and then they ship them to our place. I'm here just to check out the facility because I think it's gonna be amazing. I don't know how we get one of these, but this needs to happen like right away. Hey, Bri, thanks for inviting us out.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
There's no fish in here. This is a total scam. Give me 5.
Yeah, we're for organization purposes.
Wow, that's a huge space. Tell me a little bit about where we're at right now.
This is our quarantine facility here. We have like 20 different tanks, and all these tanks are from when we get shipments in. When people come out to Japan with us, we buy from like so many different breeders, so we want to keep the fish separate until we can ship them to you guys.
That's awesome.
Nice and healthy.
How did you get into this?
I started building ponds, and then I had a retail store, and I've always tried to like get the best price, always. And then I found myself buying like 10 boxes of koi from Japan, and now we're buying like 800. So
Isn't that crazy?
Really just snowballed.
Really? So it started with like 10 boxes. You said, I'm gonna get like a couple boxes, and then you just saw a demand in the area, and now 800 boxes was your last shipment?
Total for the year.
Total. Yeah. That's insane. You've got some gorgeous fish mixing here. I love how you've got all the different breeders. So when you quarantine all the fish, everybody from that breeder goes into this tank, everybody from this breeder goes into this tank, and some really, really pretty fish. All right, AJ, so we're in a second greenhouse over here. What are we looking at in this one?
In this greenhouse, we got a variety of different stuff. In this tank specifically, we got some amazing Yamabuki from Izamiya, Nisai. And they're huge, they're like 24 inches. We got some amazing Tancho Hakus from Marudo,
Nice.
Tancho Sanke from Marudo, and then there's a really two massive fish from Marusho, a huge Kujaku and a massive Goromo.
That's
so
awesome.
Those are my favorite tanks at the farm right here.
Oh my God. Look at the size of these guys. You gotta be kidding me. Look at the size of them. You could ride it. Right, I think you said the funniest thing I heard the other day. What's your favorite fish?
Sold one.
There. A sold fish.
After it's delivered.
After it's delivered. Well, I would imagine you're gonna sell these guys. These are really nice. These are all hand-picked by you on this side, and then this side, you don't buy these fish unless you sell them while you're in Japan.
Yeah, these really big ones, they're too expensive for us to bring home. So there's only a few pieces in here that are available.
These fish range from 10,000 and up.
Yeah, 10,000,
Yeah.
20, 30,000.
And you recently just brought in the largest fish you've ever brought in, correct?
Yeah, it was 105 centimeters, and it's right there.
Boom, that white guy in the bottom. Steve, its head is bigger than yours, which is saying a lot, man.
Yeah. I got a big head.
That fish is so big.
Yeah. So this net is 36 inches wide.
Wow. And he doesn't fit. As he gets up higher and higher here, you really appreciate how big it is. So what are we doing now, Brian?
You see people in Japan like holding koi and carrying fish, so to show you how to do it. So you always want to keep the fish head towards you, face it, calm down, and then you put your forearm under the fish, and then anywhere it moves, you just move with the koi. So like it looks difficult, but you just put the body on the forearm, and the more level you hold it, the easier it is for the fish to like not freak out. And you just...
I thought you just grabbed it by the lip.
Yeah, maybe it was like that.
Jack, you remember how like 7 months ago you were like,
I know,
I don't even like fish. Now you're grabbing a couple more?
This is killing me. This is exactly what happened in Japan, right? We start standing around like, oh. Then this guy starts pulling them out of the water. We're like, oh, that's nice. It's like being at an auction, I think, right?
What's nice is Jack doesn't even have a pond.
I don't have a pond implement.
Is this one Jack one? Yeah. That's really cool, Jack. All right, so these are the three. You've got the V, Victor, Violet, Victoria, whoever's
Look
gonna buy
at this,
it.
Brian. Look how sharp sharp the lines are between the red and the white. Beautiful fish.
And so that's a Deutsch Goromo, not a Kikasui.
It looks like a Deutsch Goromo. You see the black?
Because a little bit of the black coming through it.
Yeah, it's almost like a dusty black in there.
And the other one's a Goshiki? Oshiki?
The Tancho Goshi with a V. A V Tancho.
V Tancho.
That is awesome.
Woo! This is a lot of water. This is the number one thing a fish hobbyist needs to think about when they're adding fish to a pond.
Make sure they have the right filtration and a nice sized pond. You don't want to have a tiny pond you're going to put a 2-foot koi in.
Sure. Yeah, I would say the biggest mistake our customers make is they overstock their ponds.
Yeah.
Right? With 20 fish in a 10 by 15 foot pond or something. They should really have 6, especially koi.
Any style pond, water garden, ecosystem pond, or a koi pond, it has to have the right filtration.
Yeah.
So it's all the matter is, it's just about water quality. It doesn't matter what's in the pond. Just need good water.
Absolutely incredible. I love the Gashiki, the silver with the oryx. I just think they stand out so much. That guy right there. Super cool. Look at that, natural. Greg, I'm gonna come work over here for the rest of my life, okay? Look at that, that's pretty awesome. Steve, I got a surprise for you, bud.
Oh, you got a surprise for me? What is it?
You and Christine can pick out any fish out of this area right here. You have to keep it in the big tank at Aquascape and grow it out though, okay?
Oh, yeah.
But these are your fish, so each of you guys pick out a fish.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
So why are you going with the Chago you picked, Christine?
Well, I do love their friendliness. I do like how big they get.
They do get big.
The solid color, it's just kind of like a solid color gem, and then the scales are like the cut of the gem. And then I just love Chaga. They're so friendly, and hopefully she gets big.
And Steve?
I've never really seen one like with this solid color.
Like just the brown?
Yeah, the brown. He just looks so cool. I like how the scales look. Like his top end looks really cool.
So cool. You don't get to do this all the time. A lot of times when you're picking out these smaller fish, especially if we were to do it online, you don't get to hand pick them. You guys just basically take a scoop and send us 50, right?
Yeah.
Brian's allowing us to actually hand pick out 50, and all these guys are going to be available at the retail store. Some of them are just unbelievable. Like that Jinrin Ochiba is really cool. Some of these other Jinrin ones are just made of the sparkle almost like blue on them. Really cool metallic looking colors. You guys, thank you so much. Such an awesome day, bud.
Yeah,
that was great. Thank you so much. AJ, you're all right too.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, you wanna come out.
That was awesome.
Oh, that was so cool.
Have you ever been to anything like that before?
No. No, it was awesome seeing all the different types of fish, the sizes, and just how they take care of them. Learned a lot today.
I was impressed by the way they take care of them. It was absolutely first rate.
Right. So we learned a lot. The whole point of this trip was really education for us. So we're gonna go back. We have our big to-do list, I guess.
Oh yeah.
And take our whole fish place to the next level. I think we've got really good bones over there. Aesthetically, it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a safe trip home.
Made it.
Thanks so much for coming.
Great time.
Next stop for me is a Long Island. So I got a couple-hour drive. Like I said, there'll be a surprise. I will say this is probably the worst traffic I've ever seen. Being from Chicago, we deal with some traffic, but driving from New Jersey to Long Island at 4 o'clock probably isn't the smartest move. I think what we'll do is go back to Aqualand, see what Jack Pazinski and the rest of the boys are up to, and then we'll go back into this traffic a little bit.
Hey guys, it's Jack with Team Aquascape. We are out in front of Aqualand, in front of our lily trough. So if you guys remember, we built this back last year, and the end of August at Pandemonium, we added our wetland, which is up here, and then our intake bay, which is on the other end of the pond. It's a gorgeous day out here in Chicagoland. We're gonna get going, and we're gonna start cleaning this feature. It's a little windy, but I know it's like 45 out and sunny, so it's just gorgeous weather for clean out season, and it's only the beginning of March. So this was a great opportunity for us to come out here and clean this trough. Perfect weather, and it's our last week before our final academies that are coming out next week. Figured we had some downtime and we'd come out here and knock one thing off the checklist before we start cleanouts. Let's get started, guys. So right now we got our pumps in, we got our wetland drained. The next step is for this big body of water in front of me, the pond, for that to be drained. Once we get this down low enough, we're gonna come in here and clean our intake bay, which is absolutely covered in muck and debris. So while this pond is draining, we're gonna be up on our wetland, power washing that wetland, and then using this water that's already nice and clear and clean and rinsing that wetland out. Once we finish that, if this is still draining, come over here in our intake bay. We're gonna clean that out, and then we can start power washing and rinsing the rest of the pond. So once all that is done, we fill this feature back up, then we are ready for the season.
All right, so we showed up, just got done greeting the homeowner, letting him know that we were on property. This is the pond. It was only built last year. Apparently they've been filling it up and it has not been holding water. So I have a sneaking suspicion the pond is that low. We have a little bit of a problem. So we're gonna check it out, get some water in this thing, and then we'll see if we can't get the pump turned on and then figure it out from there. All right, so Josh and I poked around, filled this thing back up. We didn't find anything on the corners of the biofalls. Everything appeared to be super high into here. After digging some pilot holes on both corners of the skimmer. So we ended up finding water started to collect and we lost about 3/4 of an inch of water. But being this was such a new install and the fact that the leak seemed to progress, didn't seem logical that it would have been the skimmer, a silicone seal ever becoming bad. We kept plugging away, poking around, and what we found was, and we're hopeful, we found water was getting back behind this rock here. Josh has since undammed it, but it was driving water level up. Even though this is about 16 inches above water level down in here, water was sneaking back in here, and because the liner and everything was packed so tight, was daylighting out through an edge right back into here. And Josh noticed water underneath this blue rock. So I kind of clean the area up, redo this edge, make sure this stays open as a relief area because water's still getting back behind here. We're gonna fix this edge and see if that was the culprit. Usually when you see water on either side of the skimmer and it starts to well up with the pump running, it will indicate that the seal has gone bad. But in this case, being it's such a new water feature, I just did not believe it. He couldn't believe it. So we started to chase going up. So the water through capillary action was actually working its way down the hill, following the membrane, between the membrane and the soil. So this whole ground was saturated in through here. So we ended up seeing water level raise and see water actually coming into these two little holes here with the pump running. We turned the pump off, we didn't see anything. So which led us to believe that it was somewhere up in here, and then the water just by gravity was working its way, the path of least resistance around the liner and filling up that hole that way. So hopeful that we found it, and that little trouble spot right there along the right edge of the stream was our culprit. What we're gonna do is, just to be on the safe side, leave these two sides open, let it run, mark water level, and then Josh, what do you say, come back tomorrow and see? Yep. So normally we'd like to do this all in one foul swoop, have a clear smoking gun, if you will, but we just want to be extra safe and double check everything. So be back tomorrow and we'll check this thing out.
Well, I made it, my final stop. And a lot of people said I was crazy to extend my trip because I had so much stuff to do when I got back home. But how could I be all the way in New York, not stop by Long Island and visit my good friend, John Rosen, owner of Koi Market. He's been supplying us with fish for a long time. He has a new facility. I've never been here before, but I can tell you already, it's gonna be incredible. I'm here with my buddy Sean. This is an amazing place. Like,
thank you.
I just can't believe the buildings, all of the stuff you've already got done. Give me a little background on like how this all came to be.
We have a lot to talk about here, but to talk about this, you kind of talk about a little more about where we all came from. I actually started out in the video game industry. I worked in the video game industry for 20 years. I designed video games, some you may know, big games like Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX was one of my big ones. So I was doing the video game thing. I left that one company. I moved to another company. I was working via satellite out of my house. They were a new company trying to figure out where they fit in the video game world. So they hired me to build a whole product development division. I spent a year looking for products and they never picked up a single product. They were just kind of like, oh, we're not sure what we want to do. And the second year they were like, hey, like, we don't want to lose you. So we're going to pay you for the next year, but we don't have any work for you right now. So we're going to retain you full salary. So I sat home for an entire year and I started this business.
You started this business out of your backyard?
I did.
Wow.
I did. I started out of my backyard and I started out with goldfish. And my dad was like, well, what do you mean? You're just going to put goldfish on? You got to get some koi in there. So then I got some koi that winter, had them shipped to my house, and then I had a tank on the floor in my dining room. Ruined the entire floor in the dining room. My wife was like, what are you doing? And I was hooked. I knew I wanted to do something. And that summer, I decided that I was gonna sell fish out of the backyard. So I was still doing video games. I built a couple of tanks in the backyard. So a couple of like 4 foot wide by 20 foot long runway tanks in the backyard. And I met Joe Pollock from Blackwater Creek. The two of us met and we became the first outlet store for Blackwater Creek Koi Farm. So I was selling Blackwater Creek koi out of my backyard. And that's really where I got my education in caring for koi. And it got to the point where I had 20 or 30 customers in the backyard. Literally, like we had busloads of people coming from Flushing and emptying out my backyard. My wife was like, get this crap out of here. You proved yourself, like go figure out where you're gonna go with this thing. And we just kept getting bigger and bigger.
And now you're here.
And now we're here. Now we have a 1 acre property. This is the expressway.
That's probably what you guys hear in the background there. What a great location.
This property was actually, it was a bonsai nursery already. Really? I didn't even know that it was here. We were given a year to move out. Main Street was very nice. They said, listen, we'll give you a year to move out. We want your space. And that's a whole other story. But they gave us a year and we had already used up most of that year trying to find a location. I was going to a customer's house. I made a right on this corner right here and the owner just put a sign outside for sale.
Shut up.
It was crazy. So I walked up to him. He barely spoke any English. We negotiated a price. It took us about 6 months to get in here and it was a mess. But they had 7 greenhouses here that gave us a really good starting point for what we wanted to do. You can see the parking lot here. We redid the whole parking lot area, redid all the gravel and everything. We're gonna have lots of plants and water features in here. So this was a hoop house sitting in this spot right here.
Oh, all right.
It was actually shifted over more and towards the fence. We moved the whole thing over so that we could take the store and be able to go from retail right into the koi house. So you can walk from one area to the other. Before we go in there, I'll just walk right over here. Hey guys, this is Al.
Hey, I know you.
We've been building ponds for many years now. But we've gotten so busy with other areas of our business that I decided that we needed to bring in, one of the best pond builders on the East Coast. That's Sound Shore Ponds.
Hey, no pressure, buddy.
Sound Shore is now going to be building ponds with koi market. So we're pretty excited about that. So what we have here, we're going to do a really nice set of ponds and water features in this whole grass area here. Actually, we took down all the trees that were in here in anticipation of us getting to this spot where we're going to build a whole bunch of water features and ponds. Customers can come in and when they want to do a pond, well, they can see exactly what his skill sets are. We're also going to be doing a huge waterfall in the front corner of the property with a giant koi, and we'll go come see the koi over here.
I'm guessing you're about to see the world's largest koi. I don't think there's another koi bigger than this in the entire world.
We've managed to keep it really healthy.
This is a big store. This is really cool. So awesome that you guys get to see it like at its infancy here. Like
this area over here is going to be our aquarium section. These are 6-foot custom-made fiberglass koi that we had made in Indonesia.
Are you kidding? If you don't put one of those...
Smith, do you recognize this?
When I pulled in off of the expressway there and I saw that corner, I was like, oh my gosh, that's screaming for a waterfall. But if you don't put one of these koi out in the corner, that'll catch anybody's eye.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
Hey, I might get a chance to help design a waterfall at this amazing place. How cool is that?
Yep.
It's been 100% an amazing tour. I can't wait to show you guys the rest of the fish. We'll keep this thing going and let's go look at some fish.
Relationships are very important to me. In every business that I'm in, a couple of years ago I partnered with a company called Ornafish. Ornafish is the largest Japanese koi exporter in Japan, and we are the US agent for Ornafish.
So we're sitting where? Where are we right now?
This is our first line of defense. So when fish come in here, they're in their own separate tanks, separate breeders, separate filtration, separate nets, separate bowls.
And so when you quarantine them, what is actually happening in the tank?
We're doing, this is a great question. We're doing a mix of testing the fish as well as prophylactically treating the fish. So we're scraping and scoping the fish. So we scrape the fish and we put it under a microscope to look for various parasites.
Once a week?
Definitely not once a week. We'll do that in the beginning and then we'll do it probably a second time midway through. When the fish come in, we salt the fish. We bring the tanks up to a 6% salt, or 0.6 ppt, and we will use a broad spectrum treatment. We use Proform C. That's for the majority of common parasites and fungus. My next thing, which is we heat ramp. So we have to bring this greenhouse up. We bring the water up to 76.
Yeah, it is warm in here.
And and the water has to remain at that temperature for 3 weeks, and then we do what's called our KHV testing. So it's koi herpes virus testing.
Yep.
Thank God it's something we've never had, but it's something that is devastating.
It's very real.
I haven't seen it or heard of anyone getting it in the States for maybe 2 years, but it's devastating. It's like a 98% kill rate.
This is a huge quarantine house. So every fish that comes in comes here first. And I'm looking like over your shoulder, and there's some gorgeous fish in here.
We're gonna go over all of it. Everything from here over, all these are sold fish.
Really?
This tank over here, this first tank here, and then everything over here, all came in the last shipment.
Wow. Oh, there's some beautiful fish in there.
We have one from the boxes. We have these guys are gonna go over check right after that. 1,200 or 1,250.
We grabbed some of the yellow Yamabukis in here. We grabbed a couple of these guys out of here. We grabbed a bunch of fish actually out of here. We got some of these platinums out of here. We didn't grab these, so we did come down here. And you guys, these are the ones I'm most excited about. These are unbelievable toe-size Showa. And I only got 6 of them, but 6 of them are coming to our shop. Can't wait to show you these guys as they come in. It's still a little cold for us back into the Chicagoland area, but we really found some beautiful fish in here.
All right, so back out here after about 24 hours, just over 24 hours, came back to check to see where water level's at in this pond. Why don't we just go ahead and take a look-see here.
Oh, that's a good sign. That is a good sign. You remember yesterday, this was the area that we found the leak, and it looks like water has not dropped at all. See, when you're seated down in here, where the water was cooling yesterday, that's where the water was cooling on both sides. The water level has not dropped.
So what's cool about it is we thought with almost 100% certainty that we found the leak yesterday, and that the water was just kind of seeking the path of least resistance and going underneath the liner and then filling up those void spaces on either side of the skimmer. But we just wanted to make sure the skimmer seal was intact. We did dig up on both sides, make sure that that seal was still watertight, and it was. So looks like we found it. I'm gonna go ahead and put things back together and then get back to the office. So thank goodness.
All right, so we put everything back together. Good to go.
So we got that all wrapped up, and what's really, really neat, fun, and unique about this job is the appreciation of our customers. So with saying that, here's what we got. Our customer that we just visited, the husband works for our candy company, and as you can see, dear Aquascape, thank you for the amazing pond. Love Nico and Laura Jimenez. So awesome. And to say that this is very, very cool and unique is an understatement. So we love our customers. So glad that they love us back. Just so cool. So anyways, it's the little things, people. It's the little things.
Say goodbye.
Bye. Good to see you guys.
It's so great that you guys are teaming up to do this. I can't wait to see how you're transforming all this. That's going to be incredible.
A lot of stuff to do. It's going to be amazing.
I'm really looking forward to the invite back.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, bud. Have a good one. You guys, this was a better trip than I could have imagined. Sean really has an incredible space over here. You have to check him out. If you're ever in the Long Island area, Dix Hills, Long Island area, come out here, check it out, look him up. Koi Market. He also does every Saturday. He does a Facebook Live. He has virtual shoppers. You can check out his channel. You can actually pick out the fish you want to grab and see. I learned so much this week from Sean, from Brian Fitzsimmons, from Tom Smith, Doc Johnson. The whole koi world has really got me koi kichi. George, you know what I'm talking about. Koi crazy. Really excited to learn and bring all this stuff back to you and show you guys some of the new fish that we got. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed my little field trip. It was a busy, busy week for us. Tell me what your favorite part was. Hopefully someday you guys can come visit Sean, the man himself. Come out to Aquascape, see these fish in person. If not, we'll just keep doing the videos for you. You can live virtually through us. All right guys, tell me your favorite part. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll do it again. Bye.